Hi guys, I'm going to try to make this quick because I've already done a couple videos and you guys understand the features of these nests. The large nest is bigger and I'm going to go through a couple of the differences, but I'm going to try to make it short and sweet. Previous videos have shown you the founding nest and the medium nest. The large nest looks very much like the medium nest. It's basically a double is what it is. It's two medium nests, one on top of each other. The setup is very similar. You've got hydration on the left and the right, and then the ventilation in the middle. Instead of, which is similar to the medium nest. The medium nest had one tunnel connecting the two halves like that. The large nest has three tunnels, 1, 2, 3, connecting the two halves. So it's kind of like two half nests that are well connected. And I've used the medium nest. I'll show you. I already have. This is a Pallidiflora colony that is in there, and you can see that they very much are using both sides. There is a hole that connects the two sides. It's hard to see from that direction. Maybe the light's a little bit better. Nah, just can't see it very well. But you get the idea. Even though there's two separate halves, they use them independently very well. So the big nest has, large nest has 3 connectors. There's still 80 gauge stainless steel wire, both for the ventilation areas and the hydration areas, the sponges, everything else is basically the same. There is on the bottom the slot for the heat cable and depressions for Velcro, tabs to stick it to the counter if you want to. So just like the other nests, there's a hydration gradient that in this nest is left and right. It's going to be wet on the sides, it's going to be drier in the middle, so they can choose a hydration gradient easily. The heating cable goes through here, and so it's going to be hot on this side of the nest and cooler on this side of the nest. Just like the medium nest, there are 2 ports out the front to give an option of modularity and whatnot, so it looks very similar. The main differences are it's twice as big, obviously. There are 4 slides, and you can see there are 2, I don't even know if you can see it very well on this, but you can see there are 2 slides that are butted right up against each other, and it slides all the way through, so you can replace the slides if they get dirty easily and whatnot. And then there are ports on the side, which definitely is new. So there are 2 ports on the front, and there's a port on each side, here and here. So there's quite a bit of modularity that's available with this model and all of the other ones. The sponges still have a little pinhole to fill, the little slot for overflow so you don't flood the nest. And since it's twice as deep, you can't fill the sponge from the other side of the sponge from the other side, so there are side ports that you can wet the sponge there. So that's really it. This is the straight up boring lineup sections. These are the offset walls, large ones for campos and whatnot, and then small subdivisions for smaller species and whatnot. So the same kind of designs, and again, there's a tremendous amount of flexibility. The size I mentioned in the last video that the living space for this nest is similar to the living space for large laser cut nests. Like this is an AC Omni nest, and don't get me wrong, I love these nests. I've got a bunch of them. I use them for all my big colonies. I'll be transitioning over, but there's nothing wrong with this. And you guys know I don't have time to make these and make money, so I'm not advertising saying mine's better. I'm just saying that the footprint of the 3D printed nest is smaller. The living space, when you calculate it, is about the same as this AC Omni nest. So obviously this nest costs, and I'll go through the cost here in a second. The 3D printed nest, including the sponges and the screen and all the materials involved, costs about $6 to make. This one costs about $90 to buy. So obviously there's a lot of savings. As far as the materials go, I've had a lot of questions. People ask what I use. This is a roll of 80 gauge stainless steel mesh. You can cut it into small sections like this. When you do a cost analysis, each of these ends up costing about a dime. This is a PVA sponge, costs about $6 to buy. You can cut it into about 30 of these, so they're about, these are the sponges that you fit into there. So each of these costs about 20 cents. These are the double size microscope slides. They cost about 10 cents each, and of course cotton balls are pretty much free. So for this nest, all the materials and everything cost about $1.50. For this one, it costs about $3. For these, it costs about $6 to make one. And I'm currently designing, done with the design, haven't printed or tested yet, but I have an extra large that is basically two of these, one next to each other. And that's going to be enormous. I don't know if that'll really be useful, because frankly, with the modularity that we have here, you can put smaller nests right next to this, or two of these together. I'm not sure how useful or helpful it'll be, but I can do it and it'll fit on the printer, so I'm gonna make one. I think that's about it. If I missed anything or you have any questions, pop it in the comments. Other than that, have a great day. Bye.